This is Bourbon, Double Blind.
Before we get started, just a reminder that any profits we make from the podcast go back to the Bourbon Society of Indiana, which we use to put on group events and raise money for charities and nonprofits based in Indiana. With that, our sponsor for today's podcast is Cicero Barrel Company, formerly known as Timberline Sierra Barrel Company, undergoing a name change right now because they've opened a storefront in Cicero, Indiana. It's an old firehouse. Looks super awesome, big glass roll-up doors and everything. They make anything you could ever want out of a whiskey, wine, or bourbon barrel. If you're looking for shelves to organize your space and bottles, if you're looking for maybe something smaller, just a bottle opener that you want to customize, they can make it all. The great thing is they're able to customize it, so if you're looking to get a gift for someone, it's a great option. You can still check them out on Facebook or on their website, which is still Timberline Sierra Barrel Company. Based. So that website is timberlinesierra.com. That's TimberlineSierra.com. With that, we'll get back to the bourbon.
Scott, with that, let's go to sample 2.
I've already poured it.
And there you go. I got mine here.
Oh, it smells very. I don't mean this word in a negative aspect, but it smells weak, if that makes sense. It's very mild.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I like.
Ooh. It's got like a thick syrup. This is weird. I always describe smells as thick. Like a thick syrupy smell to it. Still pretty sweet.
Now, see, this number 2 is it's hot. It burn, it's got the kiss from the beginning till almost the end.
Yeah, I think I've had this number 2 a few times, or what's number 2 for you a few times. Yeah, I have the same experience with it.
But then again, I like it. It's bourbon.
Yeah, this one smells really like syrup heavy, like cherry syrup almost.
I have to look at my list real quick to see what you're experiencing right now. Okay.
I don't get as, like, for the way it smells to me, it's not as thick as I would have thought. It's still good, like still decently oily in my mouth.
Yeah, number 2, just so you know, is my all-time favorite on this planet that I've ever tasted. That's my palate.
There's not a bunch of alcohol.
That's the way I taste. That's my favorite that I've, next to Eagle Rare, which you are not sampling any Eagle Rare. That's right up there.
Oh, interesting. So that's, again, everybody's a little different. I've had a few different bottles of Eagle Rare now, and all of them are just like, I love the smell of it, but on my palate in my mouth, it just falls dead for me.
Yeah, that's funny, Brandon, because that's what I like about it. It's sort of subtle. It's just there, and then you feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is good. The finish is pretty good. Like, it doesn't leave my mouth dry.
To this day, what is your favorite that if you could have a dozen bottles of it, what would it be? What's your favorite?
Oh, Heaven Hill 17 year, hands down.
Really?
I've kept 2 bottles of it. I had more than that at one point. I gave some to some buddies.
I just so you know, I didn't receive one from you. I just want to let you know that.
They're
that good, huh? How would you describe it?
It's amazing.
How would you describe it?
I haven't had it. I haven't opened either of mine. I'm saving them, one for my wedding day and one for some other day. I don't know what that day will be. Um, but like has every bourbon flavor I want, like a thick caramel with some cherry on the back end of it, and then a little bit of like tobacco and wood towards the back end of it, and it's thick in my mouth. The flavor stays around a while. There's no bite, like alcohol bite on it, even though it's barrel proof.
Uh-huh.
It's fabulous.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have not tasted that.
Yeah.
And,
If the day I open mine, I'll bring you some sample.
And I do not have one of those. So if you find another one.
It's great. I would grab that over any other bottle of bourbon I've ever tried or owned. Yeah. While we're still sipping on sample 2 here.
Yeah, I have quite a bit of sample 2 left.
Yeah, we got icebreaker questions to go with sample 2.
What do you got?
So number 1 through 15, you pick a number and we'll go with that question.
Got to go 12.
All right, number 12. If you had to delete 3 apps on your phone, which 3, or no, you had to delete all but 3 applications on your phone, which 3 would you keep?
Oh, which 3 would I keep? Okay, Amazon would have to be number 1. I'm keeping it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look at my phone for this.
Apps. Jackie, would Notes be considered an app?
I'm having to look here.
Facebook, just because I get a lot of work off Facebook.
Okay.
I get a lot of mentions on Facebook. So Facebook, Amazon. It's a good one. Facebook, Amazon. Let's see, what am I? You know what? And my music. It'd have to be my music, Brandon. Pandora.
Yeah,
those are the 3.
Yeah, for certain, I'm keeping Spotify, which is what I do my music on. Yeah. I don't know if email counts as an app, but I feel like I need my email.
Yeah, you probably need that.
Yeah. I don't like leaving, especially if there's urgent stuff at the university or the lab that somebody needs to get a hold of me about. So email for productivity. Yeah, for sure, music. Yeah, maybe Facebook then. I feel like I'm just able to see like my nieces and nephews' pictures and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy to stay connected with people.
That's a good question, yes. And you have to have Facebook so you could look on the Indiana Bourbon Society.
Yeah. There somebody at the group event
Facebook,
we had.
I mean, nobody's seeing this, right?
Yeah. Somebody at the group event said something along the lines of like, yeah, that's the only good shit on Facebook. Like there's nothing else good there.
You know, I mean, applaud Emily. I mean, I've got on the site the other day, and last I knew we had 1,000 members. I got on there, it was like over 2,000. I'm like, oh my God, look what this woman has done.
Yeah, it's wild. And the people I've met on there, like when I see people are like, hey, I'm going to Kentucky, what should I go check out? Like I'll message them right away and be like, hey, you want to meet up for a drink? Or I can tell you where to grab dinner.
Yes.
Or I can tell you these little spots in Louisville. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the other day, I put on there where I found some Blantons and Eagle Rare, and you know, guys were messaging me through Facebook. You know, say, hey, how long were you there? How many are left? And it's a great marketing tool.
Yeah. God, there's a lot of, now that I'm having a little more of sample 2 here.
What do you think of that?
There's a lot of, it's pretty good. There's a lot of wood on the back end, and it dries my mouth out a little bit now. Like I think it's pretty old bourbon, like older than 12 years old, I'm guessing. Wow. Don't tell me.
You're good, Brandon. You're good. You're real good. It's amazing that you would even say that. Hey, can I
Yeah,
get
we'll
can I
see
give
what it
you a
is.
little hint of what it is, or no, not yet?
Not yet. I don't want to be influenced at all
All right, so I can't tell you how many
by
years it is.
not yet.
All right.
We'll find out at the end. Scott, do you want to do another icebreaker question, or you want to go into sample
Dude, this is
3?
fun. Whatever you want to do. Let's do an icebreaker.
Let's do. Yeah, we'll do another one, and then we'll go to sample 3. 1 through 15 again, just not 12.
11.
We're going to 11. Ooh, if you were the host of a late night talk show, who's your first guest you have on?
My first guest, Elon Musk.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
What do you want to ask him about? I'm curious.
Oh, everything. Everything.
Yeah.
or Amber Heard. No, Elon Musk.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what does it take? I mean, I watched a video from way back when he was 22 years old, and he was bragging about making his $1 million. You know, he's making $1 million. You know, a couple $1 million. He's with his girlfriend, and to get from where he was to where he's at, I just want to know. I mean, how do you get there? That's the question I would ask him. How do you get from making $1 million to being one of the richest people in the world?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a stressful process.
Oh, I'm sure it's stressful, man. Hey, I'm not wealthy. I'm not rich, and the stress I go through would probably bury several people. Yeah, I have a lot of stress, but I can't imagine what he goes through.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'd have. I'm trying to think of like sports greats that would be fun to talk to.
Who?
Like sports greats, like really good,
my God.
iconic.
Yes.
Like I don't know. We're from near Chicago, so like
I would have
Michael
to
Jordan's an obvious one.
Talk to Sammy Sosa or one of the great Cubbies.
Yeah, or Michael Jordan, anybody from the Bulls in like the mid '90s.
You know, I never ever. Funny story. I never followed basketball. Never watched a game of basketball my entire life. Played sports my whole life. Pretty athletic. Recently have watched the Chesterton basketball team, which got me interested in basketball. So now, looking back, you know, there's all these basketball greats that I wish I would have watched in the prime that I grew up with, but I never watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe, either it have to be a sports great. I love sports so much.
Well, you said
there's
tennis. You said you love tennis. What about that movie? Did you see that movie with Will Smith and the Williams sisters?
Oh no, I hadn't watched it yet.
Are you kidding me?
What's it called? No. They would be great to talk to.
With Serena Williams?
It's called King something.
King something. King Richard.
That's it.
An amazing movie. You need to, like, when you get off here tonight, watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing.
There's a list of tennis greats you could go through that it would be great to talk to just to get their experience of traveling the world and yeah.
Yeah, that's fun, man. I mean, I've never really played it, but I would love to do it for some cardio one day if you're in town.
Yeah. That's why I do it now. Of like, being on a treadmill or whatever is miserable for a couple hours, but I can go play tennis with some buddies.
Now, do you remember racquetball? Did you ever play racquetball in the 80s, 90s?
Oh, I still play with one of the guys I work with, like once a week. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play. Growing up, I played it. You know, I lived right by a racquetball court. It was a gym we worked out at, and it was fun, man.
Yeah, it's some work. Even though you're in this box of a room, like it is some work.
It's very. You have to be very agile and very quick and hand-eye coordination. But I guess pickleball is sort of the same thing as tennis?
Yeah, I've played pickleball a couple times. It's like little paddles, almost like a ping pong paddle, but a little bigger.
And how big is the ball you use?
It's like wiffle ball size.
Okay.
Like has holes in it and everything. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Far less.
I hear everybody rave about
it. Yeah, it's super fun, and it's a lot less strenuous on your joints and things than tennis.
A buddy of mine, Arch Waters, he was our neighbor, one of our best neighbors we've ever had, plays pickleball, and he plays pickleball now, and and I was like, I need to try that. So I want to try it.
Yeah, for sure. That's fun. All right, Scott, let's get into sample 3
All right, let me
here.
pour 3.
Whatever sample 3 you gave me looks much darker than the other two. I'll compare it to sample 2. This is
Oh,
2.
that might be Pepsi. I'm not sure what I poured in there.
This is the Pepsi challenge
Yeah,
now.
that's the Pepsi.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you would like to be a guest on an episode, email us at podcastbdb@gmail.com. You can also find our group on Facebook at the Bourbon Society of Indiana. Until next time, we hope you find something that tickles your taste buds. Cheers!